मुनतिरावनचारी जय राधा माधव कुंज बिहारी जय राधा माधव कुंज बिहारी गोपी जनवल्लभा गिरिवरधारी गोपी जनवल्लभा गिरिवरधारी यशोदानंदन व्रज नरंजन यशोदानंदन व्रज नरंजन यमुना तीरावनचारी यमुना तीरावनचारी जय राधा माधव कुंज बिहारी जय राधा माधव कुंज बिहारी हरे कृष्णा कृष्ण कृष्ण हरे 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 राम 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 हरे 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 कृष्णा कृष्ण कृष्ण हरे 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 राम 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 हरे हरे जाम विष्णुपाद परम सुप्रव्रजकचर्य स्तोत्रशत श्री श्रीमद श्रीला अभय चंद्रविंद भक्तिवेदांत स्वामी महाराज श्रील प्रभुपाद की जय अनंत कोटि वैष्णविंद की जय नामाचार्य हरदास तक की जय प्रेम से कहो श्री कृष्ण चैतन्य प्रभु नित्यानंद श्री अद्वैत गदाधर श्रीवासादि गौर भक्तवृंद की जय जय श्री श्री राधा कृष्ण गोप गोपीनाथ श्याम कुंद राधा कुंद गिरि गोवर्धन की जय निताय गौर परमानंदे हरि बोल All glories assembled devotees Hare Krishna. All glories assembled devotees Hare Krishna. All glories assembled devotees Hare Krishna. All glories to Shri Guru and Shri Gauranga. All glories to Shri Prabhupada. Namo Vishnupadaya Krishna Prasthaputadesh Matradhana Swamniti Namini. Namo Vishnupadaya Krishna Prasthaputadesh Mati Bhaktivedanta Swamniti Namini. Namaste Saraswati Deve Gauravani Pracharine Nirvishesha Shanyavadi Paschatadeshatarine. Om Agyanatimirandasya Gyananjanashalakaya Chakshurun Militam Yena Tasmai Shri Gurave Namaha. Shri Chaitanya Manobhishtam Stapitam Yena Bhutale Swayam Rupah Kadamahyam Dadati Svapadantikam Vandeham Shri Guru Shri Utapatakamalam Shri Gurun Vaishnavamscha Shri Rupam Sagrajatam Sahagana Raghunatanvitam Tam Sajivam Sadvaitam Savadutam Parijana Sahitam Krishna Chaitanya Devam Shri Radha Krishna Padan Sahagana Lalita Shri Vishakanvitamsha He Krishna Karuna Sindhu Dinabandhu Jagatpate Gopesha Gopika Kanta Radha Kanta Namostude Tapta Kanchana Gaurangi Radhe Vrindavaneshwari Vrishabhanu Sute Devi Pranamami Hari Priye Vanchakalpatarubhyascha Kripa Sindhu Beivacha Patitanam Pavanebhyo Vaishnavebhyo Namo Namaha Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadara Shri Vasadi Gaura Bhakta Vrinda Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna. I'm very honored to be in such an exalted place and to offer you some insignificant service. So we'll have a seminar this week about how to bind the Lord in our heart, the art of binding the Lord in the heart. Yes. And it's connected, of course, with the month of Kartik, which is actually the most blessed month, the most revered and hankered for month in our Gaudiya tradition. But first of all, before we begin, I would like to ask you a question. In what kind of a world you would like to live? Who would like to live in the world of justice? Of justice. Justice. Not all of you. So someone would like to live in the world of injustice. It's an interesting question, actually, because we live in the world of justice. Yes. And whatever is happening to us, we should understand is justice. Is not anything else but justice. But we hanker for really deep in our heart, not for world of justice, but the world of mercy, the world of love. And love doesn't mean justice. Mercy means to give something unjust, what we don't deserve. And we cannot deserve anything from the Lord, actually. We don't deserve spiritual salvation or spiritual love. We don't deserve anything. We don't deserve even to begin the path of bhakti. There is no material pious act that can give us bhakti. Yes, bhakti is paramasvatantra, completely independent. Yes, and nothing of this world can give us bhakti. Yes, This is really important to understand. 5,000 years ago, there was a big gathering of sages in the forest of Naimisharanya. And they asked Sutta Goswami a question in the beginning of Srimad Bhagavatam. Burini buri karmani shrotavyani vibhagasha atak sadotrayat saram samudritya manisha bruhi badaraya bhutanam yanatma suprasidati. You have studied many different shastras, different scriptures, in which many different paths are prescribed, many injunctions and many prohibitions of different kinds. And just before this verse they explained, in this Kali Yuga, everyone is disturbed and short-lived and with short memory. Vedic scriptures are so vast. So what to do for ordinary man to attain benefit? And they said, you have studied all this. Please tell us what is the essence. Atah sadotrayat saram. Saram means the essence. Yanatma suprasidati, by which one's self, atma, becomes suprasidati. Prasidati means happy, blissful. And su means extremely, perfectly. So what is the process by which, from all these vast Vedic scriptures, that one can become perfectly, completely, absolutely happy? Suprasidati. And Sutta Goswami answers this question in the very next chapter, in the second chapter of first canto of Srimad Bhagavatam. And he says, Savai pumsam paro dharmo yato bhaktir dokshaji ahaitukya pratihata yayatma suprasidati. And uses this same word, suprasidati. And he says, Savai pumsam paro dharmo, and this is paradharma, the highest transcendental dharma, or duty, or religious path, we can also say. Our quest, our nature, many different things we can translate by dharma, but this is paradharma, transcendental dharma. Yato bhaktir adokshaji. By love to adokshaja, we can achieve this state of suprasidati. But this love shouldn't be any of this world. It's ahaituki apratihata. Ahaituki, hetu means cause, and ahaituki means without motive. So no cause generates our love. So it should be causeless or unconditional love, in order to satisfy the self. Unconditional love. Ahaituki apratihata, and uninterrupted. Because if our love is interrupted for a moment, then for this moment we cannot be suprasidati. Should be uninterrupted love. Yes. So this is the essence of all descriptions of Bhagavatam, because everyone wants to be suprasidati. Is there anyone who wants to be miserable? I haven't met anyone that would love misery. No. Everyone wants to be happy. Yes. And it is described by Prahlad Maharaj in 7th canto. Sukhaya dukkha mokshaya sankalpa iha karmana. Sadapnoti haya dukam anihaya sukavrita. That it's great determination, sankalpa, of people in this world, that they will achieve sukha, they will achieve happiness, and dukkha mokshaya, that they will be free from all miseries. Sankalpa iha karmina, that means those who live in this world, who engage in different activities to achieve happiness and to be free from misery. Sada apnoti haya dukkham. But what is the result? Sada means all the time they achieve only misery. Sada apnoti haya dukkham. Dukkha is only their goal, all the time. Although they are strongly determined, yes, I will achieve happiness and I will be free from misery. But always they achieve only misery. Satapnoti haya dukkham. Anihaya sukhavrita. But those who don't strive for material pleasure, for material happiness, they are enveloped in happiness. That means they always live in happiness. They are always suprasidati. Yes. So the purport of this is that we should strive for something that is beyond material happiness, because material happiness comes and goes like different seasons of the year, like winter and summer. They come and go. Even if one doesn't strive for misery, the misery comes, isn't it? I believe we all have this experience. How misery comes, even if we don't strive for it. Yes. So in the same way, Shastra explained, also happiness comes, even if you don't endeavor for it. Yes. So we can see Shastra completely turns our point of view. Usually we strive for something that will be happy, but Shastra says no need. You'll be happy on your own. Happiness will come on its own, and misery will also come on its own. So the best way to act is to devote yourself to ahetuki bhakti, to ahetuki bhakti. And now it is a month of Kartika, and the other name or expression or word for Kartik is Urja. Have you heard about this? Anyone? Urja. Urja means life, life force or power. And so it is a month of invigorating us, actually. Give us spiritual strength, spiritual life. And Srimati Radharani is famous as Urjeshwari. That means she's the queen of month of Kartik. And she's the queen of our life, of our life force. Yes, because she's the ultimate devotee of Krishna. And we cannot live without her love, actually. Because all love emanates from Srimati Radharani. There is no love, even semblance of love cannot exist without Srimati Radharani. Yes. She's Hladini Shakti. That means all pleasure comes from her. Devi Krishna Mayi Prokta Radhika Paradevata Sarva Lakshmi Mayi Sarva Kantik Samohini Para. Yes, it's explained that actually there is no difference between Radha and Krishna. The difference exists just for pleasure, just for this rasa for this relationship. And it is explained by Raghunath Das Goswami in Stavavali. Mriganabhik sugandha shririvendoriva chandrika tarosumanjariveka Krishna syapidattam gata. That just as the fragrance of musk is a very precious and fragrant substance that emanates from the musk deer, and it's really appreciated by all knowers of fine fragrances. Yes, it has extremely nice fragrance. But as we cannot separate this fragrance of musk from the musk itself, Mriganabhik sugandhashir, Ivendoriva chandrika, and we cannot separate the moonshine from the moon. And we cannot separate flowers and fruits from the tree. So, in the same way, Radha and Krishna are one in this sense. In this sense, yes. That she is his energy. So, our ultimate goal, because she is the most dear servant of Krishna, no one can surpass her love. And she is the fountainhead of all energies. She is the original energy. All energies emanate from her. So we are also the Tashta Shakti, one of the energies. So we are part and parcels of Srimati Radharani actually. Yes. And our whole existence is meant for her service, for Srimati Radharani's service. And of course, her whole existence is meant for Krishna's service. Yes. So that means that our existence is meant for Krishna's service. To serve Radha and Krishna together actually. Yes. We can hear that we should please Radharani, that she recommends us to Krishna, that Krishna will accept us. But actually, our goal is not to, for Krishna to be separately pleased with us. Shri Radha Gopinath ki jai. But we want to please both Radha and Krishna, not just Krishna, or not just Radha. Yes. Radha never wants to be without Krishna. So, if we worship just Radha, she is not satisfied because we separate her from Krishna, but she doesn't want to be separate from Krishna. And Krishna doesn't want to be without Srimati Radharani also. So he's not satisfied if we worship him alone without Srimati Radharani. Yes. So he's really satisfied if we worship them together. They both are most satisfied because they want to hear the glories of each other. And for example, when they wake up early in the morning, before sunrise in the boa in Vrindavan forest, there come parrots, male parrots and female parrots, and they glorify Radha and Krishna. And of course they both are very happy to hear this glorification of each other. So this should be also our goal in life, to glorify Krishna, to hear about Krishna, to think about Krishna. Actually, all our sadhana, our chanting of the holy names, our Krishna Katha, and everything is meant for one purpose. This is Smartavya Satatam Vishnur Vismartavya Najatushit. Sarva Vidi Nishedaksyur Etareva Kinkara. That Smartavya Satatam Vishnur. We should always remember Krishna. Vismartavya Najatushit. And we should never forget him. Sarva Vidi Nishedaksyur Etareva Kinkara. That there are thousands and millions of injunctions and prohibitions in the Holy Scriptures. But sarve, all of them, are just servants of one injunction and one prohibition. And what is one injunction? Always remember Krishna. And what is one prohibition? Never forget Krishna. Yes. So, all different injunctions and prohibitions are meant exclusively for this. So when Prabhupada came to the West, he established Krishna consciousness movement, Society for Krishna Consciousness. That means that consciousness is most important, not just worship. We worship Krishna. For example, now Arati is going on, worship of Krishna. But it's not society for Krishna's worship. Of course, it is also. We worship Krishna. But worship without consciousness is not recommended. It's empty. It's empty. Yes. Like my spiritual master said, that worship of Krishna is like sending Krishna a love letter. But if our consciousness is not there, if our heart is not there, then we send an empty envelope. Yes. And we shouldn't send Krishna empty envelopes. Yes. So when we chant the holy names, when we worship Krishna, when we speak Krishna Katha, when we hear about Krishna, our heart should be there. Our hankering to please Krishna should be there. Yes, this is most important. Without this consciousness, everything will be empty. And Krishna explains, Yam yam vapismaram bhavam tyajantyanti kalivaram tam tam aveti kanta satatat bhava bhaveta. In the 8th chapter of Bhagavad Gita, he explains something extremely important to understand. Usually people tend to be, to think that everything is happening mechanically, automatically. So, if I do some puja to the Lord, and I chant the holy names and so on, I'll go to the spiritual world, back home, back to Godhead. Usually people think like this, or Christians think like this. I'm a good person, but they live ordinary material life. And at the end of life, I'll go to heaven. So they all believe in some kind of miracle at the time of death. But there is no description in Shastra that death would bring miracles. Have you seen such a statement, that death brings miracles in Shastra? Death doesn't have this power to bring some miracle. But on the contrary, Krishna says, Yam yam vapismaram bhavan tyajantyanti kalivaram. That whatever you remember at the time of death, that destination you will attain without fail. Without fail. So it's the state of consciousness that is important at the time of death, and actually at all times. At all times. But the state of our present consciousness will determine our consciousness at the time of death. Because death is not a pleasant experience. Our vital functions are stopped functioning. Our lungs are failing. Our breathing is failing. Our kidneys are failing. Our liver is failing. Our heart is failing. Everything is failing. So it's extremely disturbing situation. Even if I step on a small thorn, 1 millimeter long, my consciousness goes to this pain, isn't it? Can you imagine? You step in a thorn and you chant the holy name. You cannot concentrate properly because it gives you pain in your foot. This insignificant thorn, isn't it? So, what state of consciousness there is at the time of death when everything goes wrong? Not just small, insignificant thorn. So yes, our whole consciousness naturally goes in direction to rectify the painful situation. So, if we don't practice our consciousness during our lifetime, there is no way, no possible way to remember Krishna at the time of death. Yes. Therefore, Krishna emphasizes abhyasa. Abhyasa means training, practice. All the time, in many different places in Bhagavad Gita, it's mentioned abhyasa. Abhyasa yoga yuktena chetasana nagamina paramam purusham diviyam yati partana chintayan. Therefore, immediately after he says this verse, yam yam vapi smaram bhavan, he says, then in the next verse, tasmat sarveshu kaleshu mama nusmarayadyacha. Therefore, at all times, you should remember me and fight, because this is your natural duty, because you're a warrior. So there is no other duty than fighting for you. But we have many other duties, not fighting. I believe there is no warrior amongst you. So please don't fight. And although we are not warriors, in Kali Yuga we tend to fight with each other. So don't fight. Yes, but you should perform your other duties, but always think of Krishna. Mayarpita manobuddhir mama veshasya samshaya. If you engage your mind and intelligence in me, you will attain me without doubt. But the very next verse he says, abhyasa yoga yuktana. But you cannot do this as long as you're not pure enough. You cannot remember Krishna all the time. And this is also confirmed in 12th chapter of Bhagavad Gita. He also says that this how we should be completely immersed in thought of Krishna. But in the next verse, Atachitam samadatum nashaknoshi maistiram abhyasa yogana tato mami chaptam dhananjaya. And again he stresses abhyasa. He says, if you cannot be in such a samadhi all the time, you should engage in abhyasa yoga, in sadhana bhakti. In sadhana bhakti, yes. And then we will develop desire to attain him. Yes. Without constant practice of our consciousness, we will not have a desire even to attain him. There was one devotee in Slovenia who had a cancer, and there was some surgery before she left the body, and it was not that in this surgery she left the body, but after some time. But after this surgery, she was still coming to the association of devotees, and she said that they said to her, before they get her this anesthesia, before the surgery, that she should think of something nice. Because maybe it will happen that she'll leave the body. And she said that she was thinking what to think of. And then she thought of her garden. My God. Hare Krishna. She was thinking about her garden. A devotee, not a karmi, a devotee. So, how important it is that we train our consciousness to think of Krishna all the time. Yes. And in such a way, if we think of Krishna, we will bind Krishna in our heart. Yes. And why this is an introduction actually we will speak about the Madharashtaka. But this introduction is necessary that we understand that the Madharashtaka is invoke our deepest emotion for Krishna. Because just dry thinking of something will not help. We should connect with our heart. What is deep in our heart is most powerful. Lord Jesus said, how it is in English, with whatever heart is full, that will come out of your mouth. Anyone knows how it's this in English? Yes. So yes, it's important what is in our heart. And whatever we receive, actually we are here very fortunate because we received this Krishna consciousness by Prabhupada's mercy. But on the other hand, since majority of us weren't born in Krishna consciousness, our emotions for Krishna are not there from the beginning of our life, or even before beginning of our life, which is, of course, great misfortune. Because there is one folk song in Slovenia, and it is said in this folk song, I'm Slovene, that's what my mother said when she cuddled me in her lap when I was a small baby. And from cradle to grave, my fidelity will not waver. So that means how deep goes what we receive in our childhood. So if we are parents, this is our foremost duty, to give Krishna consciousness to our children. Yes, this is our duty and our mission. Our mission as servants of Srimati Radharani is to give everyone this most precious jewel of bhakti. Yes, and we are Radharani's servants. So, and this was Prabhupada's mission, to give everyone, to all parcels of Srimati Radharani, this most precious jewel of bhakti. So this is our mission also, to help Srila Prabhupada and Srimati Radharani actually in this mission, to spread, and Lord Chaitanya, who is Radha and Krishna together, to spread this most merciful movement of Krishna consciousness. And if we are grihastas, then our foremost mission is to give our children Krishna consciousness. Otherwise, our life is useless. Gurur nasasyat svajrana nasasyat, pitana sasyat, janini nasasyat. Devam natatyan napatishra sasyan namochati aksamapita mitum. Lord Rishabhadev stresses this, how not if just parents, but everyone who is some kind of authoritative position, it means a parent, a guru, or even worshipful deity, or a relative, if we are not able to deliver those who are dependent on us, we shouldn't be a guru, a father, a mother, a husband. So it's great responsibility. Our relationships are a great responsibility. We should understand this. In our next session, tomorrow morning, we'll discuss the Mudarashtaka. Just to facilitate these emotions, deep emotions for Radha and Krishna to awaken in our heart. And it is actually an injunction of Shastra to worship Srimati Radharani in the month of Urja Devi, in the month of Kartik. And one of the foremost types of worship during this month is chanting and singing the Mudarashtakam prayers. Yes. Pleases Srimati Radharani the most. Yes. Because she also bound Krishna with her love. Once Krishna was late for their meeting and Srimati Radharani was very upset, and she bound Krishna in some vines and creepers from the forest. But Krishna said that he was held by Mother Yashoda, that he couldn't come as soon as they planned. Then Srimati Radharani regretted her punishment of Krishna and she unbound Krishna. So she's very pleased when she hears this pastime, how Krishna was bound by Mother Yashoda's love. And that brings great satisfaction also for everyone. Yes. Yes, Gopal Bhatta Goswami in Hari Bhakti Vilas explained, O learned Brahmanas, one who worships the deity of Sri Radhika for her pleasure during the month of Kartika equally satisfies Sri Damodar Hari. Yes, and one who worships Sri Damodar during Kartik month by daily reciting the prayer Sri Damodarashtakam, which was uttered by Sri Satyavrata Muni, as it arose in his heart, will perpetually attract Sri Damodar himself. Yes, Sri Damodarashtakam ki jai. Hare Krishna. Is there any question or comment or doubt? Yes, please.
Thank you for the nice lecture, of course. And I was thinking about why a lot of devotees chant Radhe Radhe in Vrindavan. Well, you say they don't like to be worshipped alone.
Yes. I don't want to judge Vrajvasis. I don't dare to. In this connection, I may tell you a short story from Jagannath Puri Leela of Lord Chaitanya. And probably you have heard this story, how Pundarik Vidyanidhi, who is actually Lord Vrishabhanu in Krishna's Lila, Srimati Radharani's father, he was judging the Sevites of Lord Jagannath in Jagannath Puri, because they offered Lord Jagannath starch cloth, and in Shastra there is prescription that cloth should be washed before being offered to the deity, and that there shouldn't be offered starch cloth. So he was asking, why is this happening, that this should be, and Shastra explains that we should offer like this. But then, and they discussed this with Swarup Damodar Goswami, and they were laughing together. So he wasn't really offensive. But then, during the night, when he was sleeping, Lord Jagannath came and started slapping Pundarik Vidyanidhi with all his force, and also Balaram. So his cheeks became really swollen, like mine here. So I received slap of Jagannath. Hare Krishna. And they said to Pundarik Vidyanidhi in his dreams, "Don't you ever dare to criticize my servants." Yes. So, and the next morning, he saw that his face was really swollen, and he went running to Swarup Damodar and showed him his face, and told him this story, and they were laughing together again. Yes, how merciful is Lord Jagannath to his servants. So Lord's punishment should be considered as great mercy. So, to your question, Prabhupada taught us, and Prabhupada we know is most intimate servant of Srimati Radharani. From his birth, actually, when he wrote Krishna book, he dedicated his book to his father, Guru Mohan De, not to his spiritual master, Bhaktisiddhanta Saraswati Thakur. It's interesting, isn't it? But to his father, Guru Mohan De. And Prabhupada explained many times that his father invited different sadhus every day for lunch in their house. And people usually, when they invite sadhus for prasadam, they ask them for different boons. Usually material boons. Let my daughter get good husband. Let I be very successful in my business, and so on. But he didn't ask for such boons. He asked only for one boon. Let my son become a pure devotee of Srimati Radharani. That was the only boon he asked all these sadhus. And so this boon, of course, came true. And we should understand how Srila Prabhupada is pure devotee of Srimati Radharani. And he taught us that we should reply to this Radhe Radhe with Hare Krishna. Because we worship Radha and Krishna together. They may consider themselves as a camp of Srimati Radharani, but actually they are in Krishna's camp. Those who greet others with Radhe Radhe, they are Krishna's camp. Because Radharani doesn't want to hear her glorification. And she wants to hear Krishna's glorification. And Krishna doesn't want to hear his own glorification. He wants to hear Radha's glorification. So those who say Radhe Radhe are worshippers of Krishna. Those who say Hare Krishna are worshippers of Radha and Krishna together. And if you would say Krishna Krishna, that would be worshippers of only Srimati Radharani. But we worship always Radha and Krishna together. Yes. Is this okay?
Yeah, I was just remembering one thing. I think I heard once that the reason why they say... The reason why, I'm not sure, maybe it's speculation, but the reason why they say Radhe Radhe, because then Krishna comes, because he hears the name of Radha.
Yes, yes, that I said, that they are worshippers of Krishna. Yeah. Yes, but we don't want Krishna alone. Actually, our goal as Gaudiya Vaishnavas is to become maidservants of Srimati Radharani. And they're afraid if they meet Krishna alone. Because he's notorious to do improper things with small girls. So they want to be protected by Srimati Radharani. Yes. So we don't call Radhe Radhe, we call Hare Krishna. Hare Krishna. There's nothing wrong with Radhe Radhe, of course. Krishna is very pleased. And nothing wrong with Krishna Krishna, because Radha is very pleased. But they are most pleased if you say Hare Krishna. Yes. Hare Krishna. Anything else? So thank you very much for your attention. Srila Prabhupada ki jai, Gaur Bhakta Vrinda ki jai, Shri Kartik Vrata ki jai, Kartik Masa ki jai, Shri Radha Gopinath ki jai, Nitai Gaur Pramanande. Please accept my humble obeisance. Good.